What's up, guys? I'm here with Eddie in another design and build series. Today we bring to you the mini decarb capsule, mini decarboxylation capsule that we have and we make and so popular. And basically, Eddie's going to walk us through the process, but we start over at the saw, right?
Correct. So we start off with the 12-foot bar material. It starts as a hex, like this shape here. We cut the pieces into individual pieces with just a little bit over the finished size, so we have material we can machine off to the finished dimensions. So after our first step, we machine this hex shape here. That way we have something to grab on for the next step. And then after the next step, we go and we hold it by this. And then we do this top section here. We cut the little pocket and all these little steps in here. And then when it's done, we get a done piece like that. So it starts from a piece like that, and we end up with that there.
So all the way through the process, you can see us on the saw here and how we cut it all into little pieces and he puts it in the jig. Behind us, Derek's actually operating the machine that's cutting the pieces, and we're going to show you that as well. But the piece is a high precision piece. It has to be because of the way that it seals. It's a little pressure cooker, the way that it works in our unit. So very popular piece, a mini decarb capsule, and another episode of the design and build series.
All right, so we get this part from the engineering department. It comes in as a solid model in SolidWorks. So this is what it looks like. So we basically have to take this and I have to create a machining drawing so that the guys know what dimensions to hold. So that's what we do. Over here I create a drawing with dimensions and tolerances. So parts like this, everything has to fit together a certain way, and so we have clearances built in that we have to hold. So I put all the dimensions in here that the guys got to keep an eye on and hold those tolerances. And then after I do that, I go into the CAD system and I program the parts depending on what we're doing. So here I have it laid out for the second step where we're doing 2 parts at a time. We have to cut the jaws that these are held in, cut little pockets to hold them. So basically we have to go and tell the machine how to machine this part, what tools we're going to use, how fast to go. So there's a lot of little steps in there, you know, just this part alone there's like 8 or 10 tools to make this part. So once I do that, then I can post the code. It's called G-code, and I can post that, which basically sends the code out in a format that the machines can understand. And then after that, we have to test run it, and then we can start running production. So basically when the code comes out, it looks like this. It's a bunch of gibberish to most people, but it's basically all the commands and positions to tell the machine where to go and what to do and what tools to use and how fast to go and all those different variables. And that's all stuff that we have to input. You know, people think you just put a piece in the machine and push go, but really there's a lot of steps, you know, from the design process to figuring out how we're going to make the part to what tools we're going to use. There's just a lot of variables, and you know how fast to cut the part. There's a lot of different formulas and steps we have to apply for that. So, but that's basically it in a nutshell, how we go about doing that. So the first step we do is we do this first side. So we do this, we face this off here and we cut this hex, because basically we need to establish a good surface to grab onto. So we always have to think, that's how we approach these parts, like how are we going to hold the part and how are we going to locate it for the different steps. So for this particular part, the easiest way to go about it is to, you know, we face this to create a nice flat surface there, and we cut this outside shape, then we can flip that over and then we have something good and accurate to hold on to. Because it has to be something that's repeatable, so everything has to be, you know, held within a certain tolerance, because if you don't hold this to a certain size and the part's going to be shifting around, and so there's a lot of things that can go wrong, so you really have to make sure you hold all the tolerances. So once we do that, then we can flip these parts around and then we hold it from that area we just machined, and in this case we're going to do 2 at a time, and then we can machine all these other features on here, and then when it comes out it's all done.
Eddie, thanks for sharing with us how the actual mini Decarb is built and done.
Yeah,
So
no problem.
appreciate you guys. Remember to like, subscribe, ring that bell. And if there's any ideas, anything you want to see how it's built, the products that we actually build and design, let us know. Let us know in the comments below, and tell a friend, for God's sakes. Eddie, thanks again,
No
and
problem.
thank you guys for joining us for another episode of Design and Build.